There we go. Hello, everybody. Welcome to our Tuesday night game, where we play terrifying things and almost kill each other with pretty astonishing regularity. Tonight we are continuing an adventure that's been going for a little while. And DM is our keeper. We play, if you are just joining us, we play Monster of the Week with some homebrew rules, so there might be some things that you don't quite recognize. And if you are joining us live, please feel free to make sure to stay until the break at the very least. I mean, stay for the whole thing so you can see how it ends. But stay till the break because Elle has some very exciting things for those of us who are watching live.
It's just like super cool, so you're going to want to hang out.
There may be some giveaways. There may be some cool nerd stuff. I don't know. So stay. I think that's it. DM, do you want to give us a brief recap of what happened?
Yeah. So with the inadvertent help of mad scientists that Edith and Thomas stumbled upon, the crew has learned a little bit more about how the Shattered King and the shards that he was broken into work. And the fact that one of those shards has taken root in their friend as something very similar to an entirely alternate personality. Unfortunately, their discoveries and good vibes were ruined by one of the Circle of Sorcerers that has been antagonizing them ever since they were kidnapped and taken to that island. They fought back and were actually able to rather spectacularly and gruesomely kill him. After what I think is fairly described as the fight of their lives, and are now basically trying to catch their breath after that. But unfortunately, this world and the enemies they've made along the way have other plans. So,
Basically, just wanted to take a nap.
Well, okay, so actually, really quick point of order. Was I fully healed, or did I have... I'm pretty sure I was fully healed.
I'm going to let you guys just fully heal up. We'll just say that's okay. Also, you're going to need it, so.
That was the part I was more concerned about.
I want it all square so it's fair, folks. Go ahead and top off on your resources.
Yep. Okay, that's okay. That's all I got.
All right. Are we ready?
Yes.
So without further ado, we go to Edith and Rose, who have just discovered a rather menacing and unwelcome guest in their backyard. The Pacific Northwest sky has been threatening rain all day as you guys sort of embarked upon your violent and exhausting escapades in your mortal combat with Bob the Muscle. And as you've arrived home, ladies, it has begun pouring rain. It started as first just kind of a light dusting, the kind that creates the sort of pleasant pitter-patter sound effect. But right around when you guys got dropped off at your home, it started just dumping in the way that only, a true Washington rainstorm can really open up. You arrived home, the trip from your ride share to your front door, more than enough time for you to get uncomfortably wet. And you're just drying off and trying to shake off the exhaustion of your day when you noticed Cat staring hauntedly at a figure in the backyard, terrified, who looks frighteningly like Thomas, but just a little off when lightning and thunder illuminate his face. What do you do?
Well, the first thing I do is say, Dylan, center yourself in the camera. Okay, sorry. You've got books behind you now. It looks great.
My facial expression didn't even change.
Secondly, okay, so menacing person that looks so Murder Thomas, as we dubbed him last week at the very last moment, is there in the backyard, and Tess says that we need to get Rory because
Edith?
Murder Thomas is here. Great. Is he like just standing there, like looking unpleasant, or is he?
He is standing still as a statue, but his eyes are darting around. He's looking very intense. It's not just like a laconic stoicism. He is coiled.
Cool. Kat, how long has he been here?
I don't know. It's felt weird ever since, though. Like time is passing too quick and too slow at the same time.
Ever since he okay.
Okay.
Has he done anything?
Yeah, did he try to come inside or anything?
Once I pushed him back, then he stopped moving. Now he's just staring at me.
Did he hurt you?
No. I was able to force him backwards, but he's strong.
Okay, did he say anything?
He hasn't made any language noises, but he's made a lot of angry ones.
Okay.
Should tell everyone quickly before he decides to come in again.
I mean, I guess that's probably smart. Text Mike.
She quickly texts like, Murder Thomas is here. Hurry. Oh God. And then like several scared emoji faces.
Apt.
Michael texts back, on my way. Thomas, stay here. Monitor your phone, and I'll call you if I need anything. But
What's wrong?
Text in all caps a few minutes
There's-
later from Thomas.
there's the other part of you is over at the girl's house. I don't think it's a great idea for you two to get together right now.
I have to go. He's too strong.
Well, if they're texting me, then there's some chance of negotiation still. We can avoid you two fighting and possibly combining right now.
Okay. It makes sense. Okay, I'll stay, but you got to check in regularly. If you don't, I'm coming.
Okay, or give me every 20 minutes. I'll check in.
Sounds good. Be safe. We don't know what's up with this thing yet.
Then he
All
gets in the van and takes off.
Mike on his way. Meanwhile, Edith is going to. Is Kat standing with the door open, or is she standing looking out like the window?
She's standing looking out like nose to glass, if she had a corporeal nose.
Got it. So there's probably there's usually in old houses, there's usually some sort of window you can open in the door. So I'm just going to pull the window down and be like, hi, can we help you?
Woman from the island. Hello.
Hi. Any
It's good to
chance
see
you would
you
like
again.
revenge on the guy who did this to you?
Vengeance, irrelevant. Vengeance, irrelevant. Vengeance is the natural course. Vengeance will occur. Vengeance, conduct, voices in my head, screaming rage, hunger, vengeance. No vengeance required. I will take it in due course.
Okay, what are you doing here then?
Hungry. I'm so hungry.
Like for a sandwich?
Oh no. No.
I figured. Okay.
Just let me in.
No.
It'll be over quickly.
Can you just, we
No.
can just, what are you hungry for? And we can find it.
He starts walking forward.
Edith, close the window.
Okay.
Cat
I don't think that's going to make a difference, hun.
Cat goes tense and her brow furrows and she snarls at him and he sort of stops moving as if he's moving forward through water and looks at her curiously. And she screams at him back, "Go away from my house." So old, so powerful, so delicious. Come here,
Okay.
little one. I
Nope.
won't wait.
Nope. Cat, can you? Is he physical? Is he physical?
Edith.
Okay.
No.
Yes.
I don't feel so good.
Why?
Something's wrong. Something's really wrong.
What did he do?
She starts growing more and more translucent all of a sudden by the second.
We stop, and she'll like yell that out to Murder Thomas.
It'll all be over soon.
Yeah, no, not if you kill Cat, because
Yeah, killing Cat will not lead to anything good.
hold on. Do we have any sources of magic in here? Is there anything left in the basement that is useful?
At this point, you should know that.
Well, no, I'm trying to think. I think we buried her stuff down in the basement. So maybe if we take her down there, she'll be okay.
It's worth a shot.
Rose, take her downstairs.
Okay, and Rose will pull Cat quickly downstairs.
You can't grab hold. She's rooted in the spot and is frankly starting to wisp away, her form like steam, and she looks tortured and terrified.
Edith is going to open the window and be like, "Cool, so you seem to like to talk. What are you doing? And how are you eating her?"
We'll give you something else. Just stop.
Hungry. Almost over. Come, hungry.
I get that, but why her?
Almost over.
Throw
And he
something
just
at it. Stop him.
takes a deep breath. Cat lets out a squeak and melts into incorporeal steam that drips into wisps of insubstantiality. And there's quiet.
Does he seem to like take this in?
Oh, he's luxuriating in it. And Rose, roll weird.
We really need Rory. Stupid book fair. I should probably not yell. You're muted. You're muted.
You're muted.
I'm so sorry. Everything's a little slow. Okay, +1. It's gonna be a 12 total.
Oh, okay. You feel almost like static electricity in the air, like that buzzing that raises the hair on your neck and arms, and that almost like dull sound beneath hearing that comes from standing right under power lines. And as he breathes and sort of just does his own thing, you just got a nasty feeling that he just got stronger.
Edith, I think we need to find somewhere to be quickly.
Great. I'm assuming the house is no longer useful. Cool. Let's run over. Okay, but first of all, I'm actually going to go ahead and just pull out one of the guns that we have stored all over the house because Mike has stocked the house up, and open the door and shoot at Murder Thomas's chest area.
Roll tough.
Go, Edith, go. Go, Edith, go.
Just because. Okay. Oh, wait. That was a 4.
You shoot, and you see his hand just, and he's examining the bullet in the driving range.
Okay, let's move while he's examining the bullet.
Yep.
He throws the
Grab
bullet
her and run.
overhand as hard as he can back at you. And it shatters the door in sort of this looping, curving path trajectory and hits you hard enough in the shoulder to break skin and embed, and you'll take a harm.
Oh my god.
And then he starts stalking forward quickly.
Rose is grabbing Edith and running.
Okay, we are running out to the front door because hopefully Mike is there soon.
God, Mike, where are you?
Both of you roll for sharp.
For sharp? Okay.
Mm-hmm. Actually, Edith, roll for sharp. Rose, roll for weird. That should get you a better result, probably.
8.
Okay. Still muted.
I'm sorry, I have so many things open. Okay. I got a 10.
Okay. So, Edith, you're kind of reeling in pain from this new shoulder wound. You can probably guess that it's not quite like being shot. It didn't get that much velocity, but that hurt. It did a lot of damage.
Yep.
Rose, you're a little bit more tuned in and a little more aware and scared. And you notice that feeling, that smell of ozone and that feeling of electrical like bubbling and that buzzing suddenly start intensifying for you. And you stop Edith and manage to throw yourself and her a couple steps back as who you call Murder Thomas apparates in front of you in your living room, dripping wet and looking around. Oh, I can enter now.
Yeah, and that's super rude, but we're going to go and you can stay here. Totally
No,
fine.
no, stay. This won't take long. Hungry.
Okay.
You didn't want to shoot me again?
Take back what you took. Hungry.
We didn't take anything.
Oh god.
You-
We should.
Took everything
No, Jason took everything.
from me.
We didn't take anything from you.
Coming forward for you again.
Okay,
Oh my God.
we're running. We're running out the front door.
You guys need to roll tough, both of you.
Oh. Rose is like, run! 7.
Mm,
4.
4.
We just
not
face
my
So Edith is kind of hurt, but her staggering forward and her sudden panic kind of makes her fall forward. And Rose, ever the good friend and the ally, you're trying to help her move forward, but it delays you. And suddenly you feel an iron vice on the back of your neck, and you are pulled back with inhuman strength into the chest of this thing. And your spider senses, for lack of a better word, are going so haywire it almost gives you a headache. Like it almost hurts. Stop moving.
And she will absolutely defy that by kicking and fighting in every way she can to get out of
Roll
this.
tough again.
That's going to be a 5.
Damn, no.
It's tough is not my thing.
It's
I can talk
So-
my way out of any situation. I can weird
just-
my way out.
And Edith, you see this. He has her by the back of the neck and just picks her up, holding her in front of him as she thrashes and kicks and claws. She can't reach him. And if you look carefully, you notice his arms almost seem to get longer to ensure that they can't. And he quirks his head, just looking at her curiously, takes a deep breath. Yes, you. Take it. Take back what you took.
Sir, do you just need a hug? Like, I mean, I'm sorry, that's usually Rose's thing, but is that what you're upset about?
He opens his mouth, and what comes out of his mouth is not a tongue. It is a tentacle.
How?
Black and dripping with something you don't really care to ponder about soon. And it starts dancing around Rose's body, almost as if it's like smelling her like a snake. And his eyes roll back into the back of his head, so you only see the whites of them. And he is drooling and taking deep, excited breaths. And this tongue seems to terminate into something that is almost like a mouth of its own, like something out of Alien or something. And it opens up. And at this point, Mike very conveniently bursts through the door.
I
He
think
can drive fast when he's needed.
he sees this and he just starts putting rounds, and he's come fully kitted up. They said they're in danger. He's fully kitted up.
Yeah,
He
good
just
call.
starts laying rounds into him.
Good. Go ahead and roll tough, unopposed, because he busy.
So that's a total of 9.
Yeah, he's busy. He's occupied, so he can't really defend himself. So you can basically empty a clip into him if you want. I mean,
yeah,
just blast this guy, and his body starts jerking, and he lets go of Rose, who I'm just going to go ahead and give the benefit of the doubt and say you probably take this opportunity to put some distance between you and it.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a good call. And he lets her go, and he starts jerking and flailing in tandem with the bullets entering him, and eventually you hear clicking, and his tongue retreats back into his mouth, and he looks at you. The man who fights. Good. You first. And starts walking towards you.
Are the girls out of the house?
No,
No, he's actually between you and them at the moment.
Okay, so wait, hold on a second. So we have the kitchen where we just came out of. We went into the living room.
Mm-hmm.
Doors over here.
You and the doorway out where Mike is in and has just
he operated right
dude up. He's turned him into a pencil. Really.
Got it. Okay. Well. Shoot. I don't know.
I'm gonna transition and just back out, see if I can get him to follow me out of the house. Give him a chance to get out the back door.
He is following you. And you are capable of moving faster than him, actually. He is just kind of striding forward. It's a walk with a purpose, but it ain't like a jog or a run, and he doesn't appear to be in any rush.
I'll just keep shooting and moving, put rounds in and run back. Keep doing that.
Roll tough again.
As long as he keeps following me. Oh, my goodness. So total of 8.
Yeah. So you are still able, with your training and your skill, to sort of put most stuff center mass. But as your grouping starts to stray, and it's understandable given your heart is hammering and you're moving backwards, and your concern is first and foremost on your friends in charge is getting out safe, that your grouping starts to spread. And on the outer ends of it, he is just moving his hands and flicking bullets away like they're bees. And you notice that now you're, dozens of rounds into this guy, and he doesn't seem hurt or impaired or troubled or in any particular pain. In fact, all you can really notice with your training is the instant a bullet does damage, he reacts to it in terms of the muscle group that it penetrates growing immediately weaker. But he's back to normal within less than a second and just keeps coming forward.
He looks like Thomas, though.
Yeah, but off.
But
eyes are color, skin is almost jaundiced, mouth is too big, ears too big, hair long, dirty.
Are his hands both
Much more muscular.
Are his hands both normal?
You can look at him. Roll weird.
10.
His extremities are pulsing in size like a heartbeat. Normal to freakishly huge to back to normal. And in fact, you notice as he walks, his stride length varies. It's like his whole form is in flux.
I have a question while this fight is going on outside. Is it reasonable to assume that some of Rory's books might be in English?
Very, very few. There would almost certainly be some that are, but not many.
Okay. Well, Mike is doing his thing. Rose, you are the only one of us that has any aptitude at this magic stuff. Go look at Rory's books and see if there's anything we can do to revive Kat. Maybe that'll help.
Okay, yeah, I can do that. And she'll take off.
I'm going to help Mike.
Don't die, please.
Hopefully not. So far, we're doing good.
Okay,
All
cool.
right. So, Mike, something that you notice kind of at the edge of your attention, as if this situation wasn't already nice and complicated. You're not like unloading a silenced pistol. Not that it's that quiet at this thing. You brought firepower like you always do. And the neighborhood has heard your nice homage to modern art by trying to turn your foe into a graphite pencil. And people are starting to come out of their houses wondering what the hell is going on.
Is his attention still focused on me?
You notice that people are coming out not just because of the noise, but because he seems interested, head quirking, nose moving, almost like a dog's.
Get back inside. I just keep putting as many rounds into him as I can.
Pray.
So Edith is going to come out the front yard, observe this situation, and shoot murder Thomas from the behind.
All of you roll tough.
Can Rose go looking for a book?
Yep, Rose is looking for a book. So Rose is in the house. So we're going to pause
Rose,
for a second.
roll sharp and cool for investigation and for pressure.
Okay. But hold it, and we'll come back to that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'm rolling tough.
I got an 11.
Okay. Yeah, you manage to tighten your grouping again, plant your feet, and you light him up with another perfect round, every bullet in the chamber into your foe. And he's reacting to it like it's barely more than raindrops.
I've got a 6, which is not going to do anything.
You got a 6?
I got a 6. But I mean, seeing as I just burst out through the door, can I use this as a what could go wrong moment as well?
Pitch me.
The what could go wrong? Well, I mean, I just kind of like ran out. Well, I guess I'm not directly in danger. Never mind.
Not really. Sorry.
Cool.
I yelled to Edith, get in the truck and get out of here.
Okay, when have I ever done that, Mike?
He deflects your bullet that a shot that you carefully line up and change. Again, like a guy backhanding a fly. And the bullet sails next door and hits the side of the house with a plunk.
Okay, wait, Mike. Why is Thomas not with you?
We don't want these two getting together right now. Get in the truck. I'll lead him away from here.
Okay,
I have my phone.
Edith goes and gets in the truck and rummages around until she finds the
children. What is going on? What hit my house?
Oh no, ma'am! No, you go back in the house.
Why do you have guns?
It is a movie. Man? It is a movie. Go sit back in the house.
Pray. In an instant, he turns on her, your kindly elderly neighbor who is walking over with concern in her posture and her eyes. She's not mad. She's afraid for you. And he's on her before she can blink, before any of you can react. And that sickening black tentacle-like tongue is burrowing itself into her sternum. She opens her mouth to gasp, and it goes slack. And just like that, he throws her body aside. Tentacle recoils back into his mouth, and he licks his lips with it. Where were we?
Is he in the road?
He's kind of in the border between your yard and hers.
Okay, Edith has gone to the car. She was going to look for a grenade launcher, but now she hops into the driver's seat and puts the car in drive and is going to drive over Murder Thomas.
Okay. Well, it would be we're going to check in with Rose, and then it would be Mike's turn, and then you can do that. But let's check in with Rose.
Hello. Okay, so it was tough and cool.
Oh, sharp and cool.
Okay, sharp and cool.
Uh-huh.
So for sharp, it was an 8, and cool, it was an 11. 2, yeah.
19. Yeah. So you are able to find some of Rari's books written in English. A couple of them kind of seem like more like history or philosophy texts. They don't really seem like to be all that useful, but you find a couple that kind of seem like they might be magic or talking about some weird stuff. And you find them in pretty good time. You can leave the house or do what you want to after they take their next turns.
Cool. Just start gathering them up and then start making her way downstairs.
Okay. Mike, what do you do after Mike witnesses this thing murder that woman?
He's had a chance to transition back to his primary and just puts another magazine into him. I mean,
yeah, go ahead and roll tough.
Okay, 9, so 12 total.
Nice. You unload. Again, it doesn't really seem to do anything, but he stops coming after you. He just kind of pauses, and a look sort of comes over his face, like he's concentrating or feeling some discomfort, and it is Edith's turn. Are you gonna go with your vehicle missile idea?
We're going to try to run him over because he doesn't heal all at once. He heals quickly, but whatever. We're going to try to run him over. It's the closest thing I have to dropping a cartoon rock on his head.
I'm going to go ahead. This is an idiot-proof task. I'm going to go ahead and say you do it. You floor it, release the brake, and surge forward in the van, driving at him as fast as you can, 0 to 60 in a very, very short span. I can't imagine you'd have more than 30 feet to build up momentum. And the stranger, Murder Thomas, plants his feet and lowers his shoulder. And what happens next can only really be described as a car crash. The front of the truck completely bends inward as if it were wrapped around a tree. It goes from functional arsenal van to wraparound total case in one shrieking instant of squelching metal and popping and hissing from various hoses and the radiator. And you are jarred. I'm hoping you're wearing your seatbelt. You didn't say you were, so we're going to go ahead and roll sharp to see if you were smart enough to put that on.
Okay. I don't think Edith would have put that on. I'm going
to let you roll for it.
And the airbags would be disabled.
Yeah.
9.
Yeah, you didn't put them on. So you take a chest full of steering wheel, Thank God you weren't going far or fast enough, or you might have gone through the windshield. But in this case, you just get the mother of all one harm, like chest hits. Feels like a football linebacker trucked you as hard as he could. And you have the wind knocked out of you. Just in time to see him open his mouth impossibly large. Roll sharp again.
Eight.
Ooh, you're in deep trouble. Okay, and he opens his mouth wide as if watermelon sized. He could swallow a watermelon whole. And a stinging, cutting, destroying, rending storm of mashed and misshapen bullets pours out of his mouth as if out of a Gatling gun, trucks through the windshield, and starts peppering the driver's seat. You take another one, this time in your chest area, for 2 harm, and you're gonna have to roll. You're gonna have to roll sharp until he's done to see if more get into you. But it is Rose's turn.
I do not like this, Thomas. I do not like him. Rose!
A lot of pressure, but she's going to open a book and start hoping she's found something to fix this problem.
Roll weird.
Cool. Okay. This is not the worst we have ever done. In fact, it's pretty good. 11 on the dice, so 12 total.
Oh, okay. You just kind of start like whipping through pages until you come up on one that seems kind of a lot like it should probably conjure something like a fireball. And roll weird again.
Cool. Okay, +1, that's 10.
You've had a lot of development of your sort of sixth and supernatural senses, and you still kind of feel that pulse of Thomas's power kind of in the back of your consciousness. You think you could probably give this a shot.
Give it a shot.
All right. At a 10, you start speaking the words and following the instructions for the hand gestures. And it's awkward. It's weird. These are things that nobody would ever say, and gestures and poses nobody would ever make. But your body sort of snaps to them, like very, very naturally. Like it's not a completely foreign instinct. And your mouth makes the shapes, and your vocal cord makes the noises. And before you know it, you feel that buzzing, that electrical pulse start surging into one of your palms and expanding. And before your very eyes, a ball of plasma is blossoming to life in your grasp, like the birth of a star. It's a very powerful and somewhat mesmerizing feeling.
This is so cool. Focusing, and she's going to try to throw it at evil Thomas. Murder Thomas, specifically.
Okay. That's still on the 10, so he gets the... Oh, it's about as bad as he's capable of. All right, so you huck it at him. You kind of don't know how to will it out of your grasp into target, but you do know how to throw a ball. And so you decide that's probably your best bet, and you just let it go. And he is currently spewing lead into the driver's area of the now totaled and smoking van, and notices out of the corner of his eye like a oncoming freight train of light and noise, and turns, still spraying misshapen and lumpy bullets across the street and into houses, into the passers-by. And it only stops when your ball of plasma collides with his face with a boom, like the sound of a flashbang grenade, and he goes end over end, and it deposits him on his back. And you can't even see his face. It's just smoking.
Oh my god. And she's just going to run to Edith.
Who's stuck in the car?
Yeah, you are.
Yep.
Mike, it's your turn.
You're muted.
I'm gonna run over. Well, is there any way this car is drivable?
Oh no, she destroyed it.
Right.
It has wrapped around this guy to the point where it looks like she went full on into a power line at 40. Not in good shape.
I'm gonna, unhook her seatbelt if I need to, throw over my shoulder and get moving, get out of there while we have a chance.
Real tough. She's stuck pretty good. This is a feat of strength.
6, so 9 total.
You get her out. You get her out with some serious jerking and wrenching, and she whimpers in pain and takes another harm. But you manage to pry her out of this vehicle, and she's you're big and strong, and she's of a size where you can carry her more or less unencumbered for short distances. What do you two do? I would imagine Edith is really in no shape to run.
Do we still have Rose and Edith's car?
Yeah, it's there.
You're
muted.
She has the wind knocked out of her. She can't talk.
Question. Which place did we leave Dr. Miller at?
You left Dr. Miller at the Haven.
Okay,
Yeah,
she's
she's
She's still unconscious.
Right.
Rose will ask the very uncomfy question of should we take what is smoking right there and put it in the cage at the Haven? Do we think we have the time to get there?
Is Thomas moving? Murder Thomas, is he moving or is he?
He is already sitting up.
Oh my
we're
God.
getting out of here.
You see
I thought we had like 3 seconds to get out of there.
you see a hint of bone and sinew, like you are staring at his skull underneath his skin and muscle, but it heals and knits together back into his unsettling Thomas-esque visage in 2 or 3 seconds. It is hauntingly and alarmingly quick.
Get in this car, Rose.
Watch.
Rose, you're
You
driving.
have the books, right?
Yes, I have them in my bag.
Okay, cool.
In the car, turning it on, driving as fast as we can.
I'm in the
away.
back with Edith trying to look her over, see if I can patch her up.
I'm fine. It's
You're not fine.
a flesh wound. I thought that would work.
So her wounds from bullets, not actually that concerning. They didn't penetrate that far. They're bleeding quite a bit, and there's a lot of superficial soft tissue damage just because after the bullets hit and penetrated his bone structure, they're basically like ninja stars. But they weren't at a velocity that could do like tremendous damage, just messy, bloody. Her ribs, however, are jacked up. There's already deep blossoming bruises, and you suspect that the steering wheel of the old Kick-Ass mobile, rest in peace, though I hope it will, might have cracked her ribs or maybe worse.
All right, do a stability check. Is it going to hurt, maybe? Do I feel any crepitus? Or
Yeah.
can you take a deep breath for me?
Could I not?
Take a deep breath. I'm also looking out the back window. Is Murder Thomas following us?
He starts to walk your way as you get in, but the shrieking and confusion and chaos of the neighborhood distract him, and that awful tongue comes out, and he starts tearing into people, and it descends into a scene out of a horror movie really quickly.
Mike, we're not going to be able to send that to the cops. Do we have iron stuff?
Yeah.
Because he's a Fae thing, right?
Is he a Fae thing?
Same thing.
I think so.
We understand.
Why murdering and eating people? I'm going to try to put some shotgun rounds into him.
Through our while we're driving away.
I'll hop out of the car.
Oh, Okay, stop the car, Rose.
I'm trying to get him to follow us, even if it's slow walk.
Yeah.
Go ahead and
no,
roll tough.
Just be careful because he teleports.
8.
Yeah, a tip that Mike could have probably used like 30 seconds ago. The first blast of shotgun shot blossoms across his back. You see the of cloth and skin as these balls of death penetrate, and you pump. Get ready to fire in again. Get ready to deliver another blast of Mossberg mayhem, and he just disappears. Just
Oh my god, in the car.
just gone. It's almost jarring, almost like a frame of a movie skips, and he's just gone. And all of a sudden, you feel something akin to a steel cable wrap around your neck, cutting off your air and your supply of blood. You know what it feels like to be in a brutally powerful choke when the squeeze is employed. And suddenly your feet leave the ground, adding to the problem as you are dangling in air, hung by the neck from this thing's awful tentacle.
Can I see where it is?
I will let you go ahead and roll sharp to see if you can orient yourself in the air.
Is it like reading a bad situation?
Yes,
So I get to use cool for that.
absolutely. That is
Yeah.
exactly what it is.
So that's 7.
He has no problem rotating your body with his tentacle, like choking the life out of you by the neck. He has no fear of your gun and just looks at you. And you make just enough eye contact to think, wow, this is a lot like what the eyes of sharks look like right before they feed. And you have space for an action. He's just dangling you there, but you are in a bad way and the harm is about to come.
I'm going to put one more round into him if I can.
Roll tough at a -1.
Can Edith and I see him?
You can see what's happening if you're looking out the window. Hell yeah.
So that's a total of 10 with the -1.
You get the shot off. It clips him in the shoulder. Your vision is starting to go white as, by the way, you take one unblockable, unarmor reducible arm from being choked. And he just looks down. You're close enough now as he dangles you to see that your shot did indeed make something of a ruin of his shoulder. It just knits at a speed that Wolverine would be proud of. And he looks down on it, and he looks at you, and suddenly the pressure on your neck is so great. You've never felt anything like it before. And especially with the developing of the muscles in your neck, your experience grappling and being in sort of chokeholds, it takes a lot to put you in distress this way. And you are not only in distress, you are suddenly grasped with the certainty that if you do not release this pressure in seconds, you're going out. And not the good way of out, the way of out that requires hospitalization or a coffin. And the girls, it's your turn. You have time to make an action while this is happening.
Rose is going to get out and try to blow his head off with magic again.
Roll weird.
This is fine. It's totally fine. Okay. I gotta move this tab because I keep clicking the wrong one. Okay. Weird. Okay, it's a 9.
You try to do the same fireball spell again, but for some reason, this time, none of it feels natural. None of it. The sounds that masquerade as words, the gestures, the poses, the stuff that when Rari does them, he just looks like a confident anime character. Just you can't do them this time, and you sense that it's trying to work and apply all your willpower to try to pull this gathering luminous energy out of the atmosphere to try to make this thing in spite of this much less competent effort. But slips through your fingers and you cannot make the spell. And Edith, you are technically conscious. You're very badly hurt. Do you do anything?
Well, okay. Is Mike between me and Murder Thomas, or other
You're
way?
kind of facing them in parallel and perpendicular.
So I could pick up my gun and try to shoot Murder. I don't know if that's gonna help, but that's the only move I've got right now. Unless, you know what? Okay, this is dumb. This is dumb. Murder Thomas, what if we give you the thing that you need to eat, like the actual thing?
His mouth doesn't close, and he doesn't seem to stop squeezing, but his eyes flit to you. His pits of void eyes. You have his attention, but Mike takes another harm, and his face is purple, and he gurgles. He is bearing it like a champ, but he can no longer even make his hands work to pump his shotgun.
You need to stop because we need Mike to be able to get to your actual meal. We're scraps.
He regards Mike. Spittle's coming from his mouth. His eyes are starting to roll up in his head. And he just lets go. Just
Okay.
bring prey.
Okay, well, wait in our house.
No,
And-
wait. Bring prey now.
We will bring him, but it takes a minute to get there and back.
Bring prey now.
We will bring your prey.
And then he comes. He comes.
Check my phone. It's been over 20 minutes, I assume.
Yep.
About 30.
There wasn't another car, so is Thomas walking?
He's probably got that black limo. that he
Oh,
always
the
runs.
Uber thing. Yep. Okay.
He's going to ride in style.
Mike
Oh,
tries
that's a little
to catch his breath, and luckily he's able to do so quick. So you're not going to. You wouldn't take any penalties to any rolls for being impaired. You just took the harm. You're recovering quick. As he steps away from you, you hear, in all of its glory, a elegant symphonic La Cucaracha car horn blare out. And barreling onto your street comes a stretch black limousine that immediately goes into full-on drift before stopping. And Thomas strides out of the driver's seat.
Thomas, why are you driving a limo?
Mike, are you okay?
Yeah, we got bigger issues.
Nobody's
Get in the car and go.
The
Yeah,
thing
look
wants
out.
to eat
It
you.
wants to eat you, Thomas.
Yeah, I'll let it try.
It
I'll
can
slow him
just-
down. You guys go.
No.
No way.
Edith and Chloe get in the limo, get ready to leave. Edith and
Rose.
Edith and Rose
All
Get
my
in the limo.
personas.
get in the limo. Rose practice chucking fireballs out the sunroof in the back of that thing.
I'm doing my best, but okay.
Yeah,
Edith,
just-
can you drive, or are you like?
I can drive.
Don't drive off right now.
Oh wait.
Mike, go with them. You can barely stand.
I'll be fine. He's only taking 2 harm. Be fine.
The murder Thomas is eyeing his counterpart up and down with the curious look on his face, inquisitorial. I thought you'd be taller. Thomas looks at him and goes, I don't know who you are.
This
Shrugs.
is Murder Thomas. He ate cat. And then our neighbor.
I'll work on getting cat back later.
You guys need to get out of here.
Well, we
Slow him
don't.
down. I'll be okay. Mike,
Uh,
get him to safety. Go.
But wait, you can't just destroy him because he's part of you. You need to eventually reassemble him with the Shattered King.
No, but I can stop him from turning this place into a charnel house and catch up with you later.
Can we find out what he wants? Because I have a feeling if this one is part of you, what about the other one? Because there's other
Edith, you have to go. You need medical attention. Go now.
I don't like this.
Yeah, I'm not.
Mike, you know it has to be this way. You know we can't chance it. You've got to go. They're in danger.
What has the rest of the street cleared out, or are there still people?
Oh yeah, people are now running, but they're people, and they're in PJs, and some of them are running on feet in panic. Some of them are getting into their cars and driving away, and some of them are foolishly loading their cars with valuables and supplies and taking their time because humans are dumb, panicky animals and don't make great decisions when threatened with a bizarre form of murder.
Stupid Mike.
Do I have a chance to get to my full med bag in the truck before we take off?
It's too far away and it's between you and it. You
All
can
right.
try. Not advisable, but I'll let you go for it.
I'll load the girls up and
Wait,
you drive.
Rose, you're connected to this thing. What if you ask it? You're
Okay.
connected to Thomas. You're connected to this thing.
I'm
Make it
happy
tell
to
you
try,
what it wants.
but I'm not leaving him here. That's a terrible plan.
What do you do? And
You-
it's time to make a decision.
Oh, I'm yelling, "Hey, you!" at the tall, angry murder Thomas.
It pins you with a gaze. Its head turns like an owl that catches sight of a mouse.
Hi. I get it. I get that you're very hungry. I'm going to ask you really nicely not to murder all of us because we want to help you.
You are different.
Yeah, I keep getting that.
Smell you. He turns his attention to Thomas. Can justice come play? Thomas grits his teeth, closes his eyes. When he opens them, they're black. And Rose, you feel that explosion of electrical buzzing at the ends of your six senses again. You rang?
Hey.
You look terrible, brother. Island, starving, so hungry, must be whole. And his tongue lashes out of his mouth, hits Batman Thomas in the chest and knocks him back several feet, but he keeps his feet. Ugh!
Not cool.
Murder Thomas looks confused. Too great. Can't eat. Need stronger.
Oh,
Where's the rest of you? And Batman Thomas just looks at it. I'm the only one here, pal. No. You're not whole. Your strength in her.
Oh,
Then he turns and looks at you for a long, sickening moment, Rose. Eat you first.
I don't think so.
And he starts walking forward towards you again.
Get in the
Okay.
car, Rose.
now we can drive.
Far.
I'm in the driver's seat. I'm gonna Rose. You're getting in the car.
In the car.
Okay, Mike, are you getting in the car? Or are you staying with
Yeah.
Thomas?
No.
Getting in the car. Okay, I'm gonna drive. Rose, try to throw another fireball.
On it, and she will try to throw another fire.
Teach Mike how to throw a fireball.
His progress, his forward motion as he starts to power walk towards the limo, Thomas tackles him low and just lays out his full body like he's on the punt return team. And all it does is push his doppelganger backwards to the point where his heels leave divots in the road, and he smashes Thomas across the back and hurls him off of him like he's luggage. And Thomas goes trucking right into the other end of the kick-ass mobile and basically manages to tent and dent it in from the back. Just crunch. Throws him like he's a Frisbee. Rose, roll weird.
Throwing a fireball. We're throwing a fireball. Come on. Come on, magic. Okay, that's an 11.
This time you pull together another one. And you throw it, and it hits again, and again it knocks him on his butt. But he's up on his feet in seconds.
What's our plan, guys? Because I can keep trying, but this is not going well.
And Rose, you're starting to feel tired. You're starting to feel fatigue and a headache gnaw at the end of your senses. And you remember Thomas and Rory telling you both that they can't just do this ad infinitum. There's a limit.
If we can get back to the Haven, we can try to put him out. We can try to put him in the cage.
Is there a binding spell in this book somewhere?
Roll weird.
Is it still following us or trying to follow us?
It tries to after it gets up and starts healing from the fireball. Thomas pries himself out of the wreckage of the van and keeps hurling himself at this thing, trying to delay it. But it's less of a fight between the two of them as much as it is like when a big dog wrestles with a puppy or a chihuahua. Thomas hits him. It does very little, and he shakes him around like he's a prop and hurls him in some other direction, only for Thomas to get up and run at him again.
10 on the binding spell.
You don't find squat.
What? This is not going well.
Not in English, anyway.
As we get further away, I'm going to get on my phone, access the cameras in the van, if any of them are still working, and see if I can see what's going on.
We just got to lead him to the Haven.
Mike, you don't have any fun drones in the van, do you?
Any what?
Drones?
Yes.
It is way too destroyed, just crumpled in for you to see anything. It is a freaking steaming wreck right now.
I have drones, but I need to turn them on and launch them. I can't just turn them on remotely.
That seems like an oversight. I'm just saying. Batman could turn them on with just a button.
You could probably ask Thomas to try to delay him a little bit longer in time to do one more thing here. But team, it is getting very, very close to cook or get out of the kitchen time.
We need to get him to the Haven. That's the best
Let's
shot
just
we
keep.
have.
As long as he's following us, let's keep going.
Text Thomas. Maybe he'll answer in the middle of a fight. Because that's what we do.
Thomas, we're doing great. We got to get him to the Haven. And several hearts and butterflies.
All right. As you guys start to flee, he notices that's what you're doing and clearly gets kind of irritated and frustrated as his doppelganger and Batman Thomas keeps trying to stop him from doing it. And you get the limo started without issue. It's in perfect condition. Do you just take off?
I'm going to open the window or sunroof or whatever and yell back to Thomas, "We're going back to the Haven."
He looks at you and nods as he tries to tackle and grapple with the thing, who explodes with a roar of anger and frustration, grabs Thomas by the lapel, headbutts him so loud and hard it makes a noise like a baseball bat hitting a home run, and starts just wailing away on Thomas with his right hand, like furious that he keeps getting in the way. Pounds him first to his knees with a stream of heavy haymaker-like punches, and then eventually pounds him freaking prone and starts bouncing his head off the street until it starts making a crater for itself. He is furious. And you have your opening to flee if you want to.
We need to go. He's not going to eat that thing. He can't eat Thomas before he eats you, Rose. So let's go.
Okay.
And I'll drive.
As you flee, you see him give one kind of final contemptuous stomp, shoving Thomas's head further into the pavement. Thomas isn't moving, and he starts striding after you again, but you're already on the move. You turn the corner off of your street and make for the highway like a bat out of hell.
He's gonna be
Sure.
able to find us, right? He found us the first time. He can find us again.
Sure, he's on his way.
We just got to figure out a way to get Thomas back here before him. We'll give Thomas 5 minutes to text him.
Rose, roll weird.
No.
It's either great or the worst. Oh my god, that was really good. Okay, it's a 13.
You feel that telltale sort of concentration of energy and white noise and buzzing just come into being, expand into being right above y'all on the roof of the car.
We have company, and she will point straight up to try to give Mike some sort of.
Mike, are you driving?
No, I'm driving.
Edith, she rolled well enough on weird to see this coming. You act first.
Oh, cool. Then I would like it right above. I would like to try to swerve into the next lane. So hopefully he falls down. Not on us.
Nice.
I mean, we got a
Well,
stupid
cool.
limo, so. Freaking regular Tom with your weird tastes. What am I rolling?
Roll cool.
There was a 6.
So you try to swerve, but it's too panicky. You're too surprised and too immediately freaked out, and you're driving an unfamiliar vehicle that is basically like a boat on wheels, and it's got an ass that just won't quit. And unfortunately, that ass makes it a little bit hard to control when making sudden turns and lane changes. And you feel the back end start to float and then start to float further. And all of a sudden you realize that you're about 2 seconds away from a full skid.
Oh, because it's raining.
Yeah. Sudden moves in the big, long limousine in the pouring rain. Not a great idea if you don't roll well.
Okay. But I know what to do about this.
And that is your turn of warning. And now the villain acts. His tentacle rips through the sunroof as if it didn't exist. The glass just shatters into a million little pieces, and it starts scanning like an upside-down periscope the interior of the limousine, clearly trying to locate a victim. And now it would be Rose's turn, then Mike's.
Well, I know magic's not infinite, but this is my best skill here. So I'm going to try to, I guess, burn it. She wouldn't be throwing at it because that seems dangerous. But
Yes, good call. You're gonna roll weird, but you're gonna roll it at a -1 penalty because you're trying to do something different than what the spell
Okay.
expressly commands.
that's a 9 even then.
You plunge forward to try to put your forming ball of plasma and fire. You're dispensing with throwing it. You're just trying to put it right into the tentacle, and it's almost like it senses the heat and retreats upward, just right up out of the sunroof before you can bring magical fire in contact with sickly black flesh, and you almost stumble far enough to where you actually put the fireball in Mike's chest, but the swerving of the vehicle throws you backwards and off your feet just enough to save both him and you as you lose focus and the magic dissipates.
Thank God. Edith, you're amazing.
Well, we might be about to flip, so put on your seatbelt.
Mike, your turn, your call.
Yeah, first thing I'm going to do is put on my seatbelt.
Smart.
And if I have time after that, I'm going to see if I can figure out where he is on the roof and put a shotgun blast
you can base you're the type of guy who pays attention to everything based on the fact that a tentacle is unidirectional and you saw it explode in the sunroof. You know exactly where this guy is. You can't see him, but you know exactly where he is on the roof of the car. So go ahead and roll tough with no penalty.
See if I can upset his footing. So that's a 10.
Nice. You shoot up through the roof. You're kind of taking a wing and a prayer because you can't see him, but you hear a good noise, and suddenly the tentacle bursts through the actual metal steel component of the roof and immediately curves into a hook, and it's clear that he's actually holding onto the car. You've knocked him off of it. And we're back to Edith, who needs to roll cool to avert absolute vehicular disaster.
Okey-dokey.
Which could work out for us.
I was gonna say you could squish him.
Well, the first car that I hit him with didn't squish him, so I don't know why this car would squish him. But
The car was much
Might
sturdier.
throw him free at least.
I'm rolling cool.
Mm-hmm.
I rolled a 5.
Oh no.
We're all going to die.
One more sort of jerking feeling as Edith attempts to turn the wheel into the skid before you feel that lurching sense of gravity in your gut that lets you all know that you're moving the wrong direction against gravity. And then there's one quiet, haunting moment where the sound of tires against rain-flooded road ceases for a minute. And then you are very clearly in a flip. Crash, crash, crash. Crash. All of you take a harm. All of you.
Well,
Actually,
would body armor reduce
Mike,
that?
you're spared. You'll take nothing for the seatbelt. Rose, you get thrown around, but Mike grabs you and prevents like the worst of the chaos. You were close enough to him that we'll say that happened, and you only take one. And Edith, I'm going to just go ahead and say that in order to keep you conscious, that you learned your lesson and were wearing your seatbelt this time.
I feel like that's fair. Edith
Yeah,
is
because
also
if you're
the
not,
last
you're
person.
dead. So let's just say you were. Astonishingly, as you all sort of get your bearings after that occurrence and notice just like the walls and the ceiling are all dented in and the minibar's contents are flung all which way and all the windows are broken, that you have landed on the wheels.
Can you
Great. I would
drive?
like to continue driving.
Roll cool.
Ooh. 10.
You very quickly manage to turn the car sort of off because it's making weird noises, but then very quickly try to turn it back on, and the alternator is sputtering, but it's sputtering productively, so you keep trying. And out of the rear view, which is the one mirror in the entire vehicle that is intact, you see Murder Thomas on the road about 30 feet behind you, stand up. His tongue tentacle appendage has had the tip of it sheared off, but it's already beginning to regrow. And he starts stalking for the vehicle again in that haunting slasher power walk of his as you get the vehicle turned on. And it works. This car is still mobile, baby.
Cool. Also, I'm going to communicate to everybody else that I saw his tentacle get chopped off. So apparently we can hack Murder Thomas to pieces.
Cool.
Jamal's limo is an extraordinary feat of engineering. And,
A lot of money to Jamal's limit.
it is still available as an escape vehicle. Are you going to drive away again?
Yes.
Okay.
Change lanes.
Off you
frequently.
trot. It is late enough at night that there is not a lot of traffic, thank God. And it's not long before Murder Thomas, who seems to have an aversion to running, is lost in the gloom and mist.
Just a Mike Myers stride, like boom, boom, boom.
I'm going to text
Just like
regular
when he
Tom
appears and disappears.
or Batman Tom, whoever is currently there. Are you conscious yet?
Okay.
Rose just wants to stay as hyper aware as she can for that feeling.
I'll let you hold one for the feeling.
Cool.
So next time I have you roll for weird descents, you'll get a +1.
Cool.
Edith, are you just driving?
I mean, I guess. I don't suppose Mike found a med kit that he could use to try to.
Jamal's party bar is equipped for a good time. It's equipped for poor decisions with good friends, a night on the town that you'll never forget. But it is not equipped for medical treatment.
Okay, fabulous.
If you
Well,
start
I am-
going unstable, I can probably give you twin needle Ds, which you could have paper bags in there and crash into the steering wheel. But
Well, I mean, I am one tick from dying, so I think I'm unstable.
if you're
Yes?
unstable, I'll try. Let me try cool, see if I can.
I
Go
mean,
ahead.
if we feel good about it, we could pull over for 1 second and swap
So
Edith.
At a 14.
Yeah, you can do whatever you want at a 14.
So you get healed 2 harm.
Oh, sweet. Okay, brilliant.
That is significant.
So I'm still unstable, but I now have a room of 3.
Oh, would you rather be stable?
Does
I
it
can either
cost
stabilize
me?
you? I can
Does
either give you stabilize you or give you heal 2 harm. I think. Wait a minute. Let me read this. Make sure I'm doing it right. You're stable and healed of 2 harm. So.
Yes. I was going to say it shouldn't be either or unless she's already out. So
Got it. So
you're good to go.
I bumped down to stable.
Yeah. And you're not going to have your condition worsen necessarily in the short term.
Right. Great. Okay, so Rose, you were able to find fireball spell. Fabulous.
Yeah.
Anything about, I don't know how we revive Kat now that we're far away from the house, but I thought she might be able to help if we could revive her.
Okay. I'll keep looking.
Anything else we can throw at it?
And she will start digging through that book for anything helpful here.
I will let you roll. Go ahead, Mike.
Something that'll force him. If you can use it to push him somewhere, so you can push him into the cage and lock him in there.
Okay, I'll check for that too.
Go ahead and roll weird.
Okay, we're having a really good night with weird. It is 11.
So you are able to scroll through the English spells, and you don't really find anything that you think serves your purposes great. But now that you've sort of experimented with the hand gestures and the way of moving your body, and you do start to realize kind of through that context clue what some of these ones that aren't in English are meant to do. You still don't speak the language, which is a problem, but you're pretty sure you can at least classify the spell based on the illustrations.
I got pictures, so we're doing better.
If you could figure out a way maybe to project an image of you inside the cage while you're outside the cage, so that it'd go into the cage, maybe something like that. You make it a better idea.
Does illusions? How hard could that be, right? I'm, not an ancient dragon, but I could figure it out.
Rose,
And
you have the power freaking heart. And Thomas, somebody give me a bottle of liquor. There's liquor back there, and I'm in pain.
That's totally fair, and she'll pull out something she thinks Edith would drink.
We're almost there. I'll give you some injections between your ribs to stop the pain.
There is maybe like one bottle of whiskey left unshattered from the tumble.
That is fair, and she will just pass it straight to Edith as she looks for an illusion spell.
All right, and Edith, you're driving a vehicle and want to start pounding whiskey. Understand that correctly?
No, I mean Edith is gonna look at it and be like,
It's a mini bar bottle. It's one shot.
Oh, not in Jamal's limo. Like
She
Jamal
just
does not
tugs
go
it.
halfway or a quarter of the way. Jamal goes all in.
It's Bacardi 51, and there's like a little side of Tabasco right beside it.
I'll switch with you. Put it in cruise control. I'll switch.
Janae, no.
That's fine. You can switch.
While we're driving?
What? That
Mike's
is
a
such
pro.
a bad idea.
You've never
We're
done
so
that before?
close. Edith, just drink when we get there.
We need to talk about your problem.
I don't have a problem. This is how I cope. You cope with
This is how I cope.
bears and rom-coms, and I cope with alcohol. It's normal and fine.
Edith, I love you, and it is fine. I'm not saying you can't. Just not right this second.
I didn't do anything. I'm just holding it.
You're just smelling it.
All right. Rose, roll weird and then roll sharp.
Cool. This is all good. Okay. For weird, it's a 10, and for sharp, it's an 8.
So you are on like high alert for sensing him coming back. And then find it actually kind of notable after several moments that he's not. After a solid close to an hour of being unable to put distance between yourself and this thing, it seems to not be coming for you the same way, at least anymore.
It's weird, right, that he's not trying to kill us again.
I mean, what if he ate Thomas? What if he ate regular Tom?
That's horrible and not a helpful thing to say.
Well, he
Well,
wouldn't be going after Tom anyway. He'd be going after Batman Tom.
I'm pretty sure if he eats Batman Tom, he also eats regular Tom. When he ate the lady, all of her disappeared, right?
Rose is like, could somebody call it? And she'll just pull out her phone and start trying to call him.
Actually, none of the lady disappeared.
Oh, the lady just died.
Tentacle went in, tentacle came out. She didn't move afterward.
I want to know how you said he ate Cat?
He like breathed Cat in, and then she was gone.
How do you kill a ghost?
Like
What
that.
if he's eating her power? Because she has Fae power from the thing that we beat in the house.
Yeah.
And
she could still be there and we just can't see her.
well, he's clearly a part of. He's clearly a thing that got broken off of the
Shattered
original
King.
Thomas, the Shattered King. And he's in a body that's a copy of regular Tom from the island.
We saw him leave the island, though, as the homunculus, though, right? He did not look at all like Thomas.
All of you roll sharp.
10.
6.
12.
Edith and Rose, you remember what you after some thinking, you remember pretty solidly what you saw on the island. You didn't see him leave. You just saw him disappear.
Cool.
A sight that you have witnessed more than once today.
So he's traveling somehow. By will?
Well, by will or by plane? I mean, like, listen, if magic is real, so could be dimensional theories, right?
Okay, I think
Are we back at the Haven yet?
You, I mean, he's around as far as you know. Oops.
Rose, why don't you get inside the cage? Because I think you're what he's focusing on.
can she get out with the piece of Thomas that she has in her?
If we don't lock it, I think we can.
Can she just step on the other side?
I could stand in front of it, and then when he shows up, I can quickly jump out of the way, and you guys could kick him from behind.
Or
I'm more worried about him showing up and grabbing onto you before we have a chance to do anything. If he can't go directly into the cage, he's not going to want to go in there.
what? I mean, I repeat my plan. There's swords at the Haven. We just hack him to pieces and then put the pieces in the cage.
I could try to, like, hit him in the face, and then you guys could start stabbing, and then we could throw everything in the cage.
Whatever, you just stay near the cage no matter what.
Happy to do that. A little scared of getting in the cage because there's that strong possibility I get trapped in a cage with him.
Is there, wait, there was a lever for us to turn that thing off. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So we can turn it on and off.
I'm wondering if you shouldn't be in the cage with the thing active so he can't read you. It seems that he'll be able to get a good read on you since you are attached to part of Thomas, which is part of him, or at least attached to part of him. If that makes any sense. Not that any of this makes any sense, but
Don't know if that'll stop him. I mean, if I'm off limits, is he going to not turn around and try to eat you two?
I wanted him to come to the Haven. That's why I told Batman Thomas where we were going. Figured he would ask
Also,
him.
Rose quickly texts Dr. Miller and tells her to go to, like, an upstairs room and not come down no matter how much screaming she hears.
Oh, no, she's here at the Haven.
And
Yeah,
as far as
that's
y'all
why
know, is not awake yet. Her sleep is not natural.
Cool. Never mind then. Doesn't worry too much.
Are we at the Haven though?
Yeah, you make it just fine. If you do nothing else and drive straight there, yeah.
Cool. Well,
I'm going to put a pot of coffee on so he doesn't want to leave.
I'm not suicidal, Mike.
You would go out to get coffee, though, if it came down to it. You would risk.
Did Rose manage to find anything about, like, illusion spells?
I'll let you look. Roll weird.
Okay, plus 1, 8.
Yeah, you don't find squat.
I'm going to turn on the news, check the police Facebook page, see if they have any news about what's going on at the.
So the news doesn't appear to have like really caught up with anything yet, and part of that is it's so late at night. It's the AM technically, and that doesn't really turn up much. You start flipping through channels, and you're mainly watching infomercials and syndicated reruns of comedies and various dramatic soap opera type shows. But the Wellport PD Facebook page, you immediately open it to a long post. And if you take a spin through that post, it reads something like a massive gas leak in the neighborhood in which you have just retreated has rendered a bunch of people comatose with possible brain damage and a whole mess load of other people seeing horrific, hallucinating things who have scattered into the winds and are now doing insane, crazy stuff elsewhere. The mayor of the city has been woken and has asked the governor of Washington to declare a public health emergency. Everyone is advised, if they smell gas, to contact their utility company and to leave their house at first indication, at first whiff that something might be wrong. And if they still smell gas when they step outside, to leave the neighborhood until the smell fades for fear of adverse health consequences.
Right.
But it doesn't say that anyone is dead, right? Just comatose?
It calls them comatose.
Do you guys have phone numbers for any of your neighbors other than the old lady you saw get murdered and those guys across the street, they're all dead from the succubus, right?
Absolutely.
I was going to say, I think everyone we know in the neighborhood is dead now.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, Rose is very social, so she
I've got
probably
numbers
has
for
numbers.
like all the neighbors.
Oh, okay.
She
Never mind.
strikes me as a cookie baker. I'm just gonna go.
Yeah.
and say,
When she moved in with Edith, it was a truckload of cookies she drove through the neighborhood trying to make friends.
cookies, pies. It's just she strikes me as that type of person. So yeah, she's got numbers.
If
He
you're
knows
not,
that's what to say.
if you're not making any progress on spells, why don't you see if you can get us some more up-to-date intel?
Well, I'll try that. She'll start texting neighbors.
Okay. Yes, Edith.
Edith would like to do two things. First of all, she would like to ask Mike to gather all of the sharp iron things so that we can chop Murder Thomas into pieces. And second of all, she would like to sit with the spell book for a sec and see if there's any way we can wake up Dr. Miller, who is responsible for breaking up Thomas and regular Thomas and Batman Thomas. So maybe she can give us some insight into what this new Thomas could be.
Okay.
She's not really waking up like a normal person. Maybe there's a spell, like magical coffee, that could be like, boom, wake up.
Go ahead and roll weird. Curious.
Oh boy, good shift. That was a 3.
Yeah.
I find nothing.
You know, you sit down and
I
you're
fall
like,
over.
I'm gonna take this book and I'm gonna see if I can get any illumination on Professor Miller's condition. And yeah, with great purpose and import, just open the book and realize immediately that you have no idea what the hell you're looking at. And as good an idea as it was, you do not have the tools to carry it to fruition.
What's Rose doing right now?
Texting.
There are pictures and
Rose!
symbols.
Read this and wake up Dr. Miller.
Okay, and she'll start trying to read it so she can wake up Dr. Miller.
Just to cover our bases, I'll give her a Narcan shot too, see if there's anything mundane keeping her down.
I will let you do that. Yes.
Just it's pretty simple to get an IV.
And that should be giving her a kick in the butt. And if you administer that, she stirs. She does not wake, but she moves. And Rose, roll weird.
Okay.
You're muted.
That is 10.
10. So, after a detailed sort of spin through, you are not able to encounter anything to break the spell, because you realize, actually, with having spent some more time with this book and having sort of spent some more time leafing through its pages, that this isn't really a book of enchantments or cures or healing spells or dousing spells or tracking spells. This is a book of spells designed to do things to people, like hurt them or place them in adverse situations. you're pretty dang sure after enough leafing through that you might actually have come across a spell that maybe this particular spell or something sort of in this family is what did it to her.
Okay, not a cure, but we might know what did it.
Can we do it backwards?
I don't know. I could try. How bad could that go?
Normally, I would be deeply opposed to experimenting on a helpless victim, but in this case, I really don't care. Go ahead.
I really don't care. Go ahead.
I mean, it would make sense that if you...
Let me give her a shot of epi first, see if it does anything.
Go ahead.
Give her a shot of epi, IM injections, anything.
She is moving and stirring now, and there is a lot of activity behind the eyelids. It's pretty easy to diagnose that it should be working, and there is just something holding her back from the waking world, like a wall. You can almost, to use a metaphor, see her like she is pushing against a screen, trying to wake up.
Rose is going to try to do the spell in reverse.
Roll weird.
You know, we learned magic an hour ago. Let's make up spells.
So Snake Eyes would be boxcars, right? She's doing reverse.
Oh, 12. Weird as Rose's skill, apparently.
Fascinating. I don't want to play this. So, it's a tricky endeavor doing any spell out of a book like this backwards. But eventually you feel like you kind of get it. And like, yeah, this is a reasonable estimation of what this spell backwards would be. And nothing happens. But the more you play around with this sort of thing, it's weird because it's not intuitive at all. In fact, it kind of makes you feel a little dumb, but you're starting to feel like maybe you're having like a kind of intuitive grasp into how this is supposed to work. And the idea crosses over you that you could kind of try to just make something happen and see if you could rouse her. Just go off on your own, drop the book, and try to cast something off of intuition.
Are we okay with experimenting for another minute?
Fireball.
Don't fireball Dr. Miller. We need her to put Thomas
like
back.
Dr. Miller enough. It's fine. But she will try to go off script and make up a wake-up spell.
You use the hand gestures and signs that you've kind of interpreted mean things like wake, rise, up. Anything you can think of that would be tangentially related to your goal, and start making the motions, start repeating them. For a language component, you pull out sort of some of the syllables and sounds that you noticed helped you gather energy to yourself when you were casting the fireball. And the rest, you kind of just let your mouth move and let it come to you. It's like speaking tongues, but a lot weirder. You're just letting intuition go. And after like 30, 45 seconds of doing this, very focused, but kind of feeling like maybe in the back of your mind that you look extremely bizarre, suddenly you feel a surge of power and feel something pop. And she wakes up.
Oh my God.
Hi?
Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh dear. 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 Whoo! What happened?
Here you go. And I'll hand her the Bacardi 51 that we've got. Have that.
Oh, yes. Thank you, dear. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, very good. I knew I liked you slightly more than the others.
You need some coffee, actually. Take the coffee.
Take the coffee.
Take both.
She's taking.
All righty then. Folks, how are you? Last I remembered, the big muscly man had me by the throat.
Yep. Well, we saved you, so you owe us a bunch.
Clearly. Congratulations. Based on how that confrontation was going before I was knocked unconscious, that did not seem like a likely outcome.
After you were unconscious, it didn't seem like a likely outcome for a while. So,
But welcome back.
I like it when the underdog pulls the upset. Thank you.
okay, so there's another Thomas. So you broke him into a piece, but there's another piece, and it wants to eat the piece that you woke up. And so, do you have any idea how maybe our piece could eat his piece? Is that a thing? Can a soul subsume another, or a spirit? Can it? Can they?
It's confusing when she describes things. You, urbane man, who always looks like he wants to hurt me. Summarize in clear English, please.
We know there are at least 3 pieces of this otherworldly power.
3 shards?
At least.
Hmm.
We think that's all. There's one large one we've been in contact with regularly. There's the part that's inside our friend Thomas, which you awoke. And there's a third part, which we call Murder Thomas, which is trying to eat not just the Thomas you awoke, but Rose and some of their neighbors. It's apparently murdered a few people.
Rude. Trying to reunite. Trying to take back what has been broken into itself, I would think would be more apt.
But it's also, it seems to be one of the smaller pieces. From what I can gather, and Edith Rose, tell me if I'm wrong, there is one large piece and 2 smaller pieces, and the one we call Murder Thomas is one of the smaller pieces, and it wants to take over. But the larger piece, which isn't in this dimension right now, wants to reunite with the 2 smaller parts of itself.
To be made whole, as one does. So these shards, this is the boy's unwanted guest that he wanted help with?
Yes.
Yes.
Well, that would make some sense. This poses an interesting question, though. There's something about this that just doesn't add up to me. If the goal was to reunite, the most expedient method of reuniting would be to surrender to the other one.
It seems that at least the 2 pieces that are in our world, they are sort of like liquids that fill in a mold. The Thomas we know, we call Justice Thomas because it seems to have taken on Thomas's sense of justice and doing what's right. This one seems to have taken on a predator aspect. We're not sure why. It just seems to want to consume everything.
Just consume.
Yeah, we literally asked it if we could help it with vengeance against Jason, and it was like, not important or necessary.
Oh, these things are stirred up with the crazy wizard too.
Yep.
My God, is he brilliant? But man, he makes bad decisions.
I mean, he mentioned that he wasn't strong enough to take on our Tom. That's why he was trying to kill me.
Wasn't strong enough. So where is our boy? Is he off putting paid to that beast?
No.
Last we saw, it was beating him into the pavement, literally, and it
Real
started
bad.
following us.
That would seem to be an inaccurate estimation of their comparative ability, no?
Well, it's not ability. The thing said he was too big.
Or too different. Oh, that's a fascinating wrinkle.
What?
When I was trying to help your friend, I found myself... This is difficult to describe. It's as if they were grafted together, right? Think of oil and water. If you pour them together, it technically doesn't form a solution, not in the strictest sense of the word. They are separate. They separate, and yet they occupy the same space at the same time. You apply, say, for example, great centrifugal force, is just a metaphor. They separate. They pull apart. The 2 entities in the boy were similarly different. I thought that using the theories I had learned through my research and that I had learned from the wizard, that I would be able to pull them apart. They were distinct enough. But after making some progress stalled. I couldn't pull them further apart. It's like 2 strips of Velcro. At the top, they yielded to each other. But it's like at the bottom they had encountered flame or some other force of nature that had fused them together. All progress stopped. It's possible that this new entity figured out that it would not be able to rip its power from the boy quite so cleanly unless it had another way of connecting to it.
Like what?
Hell if I know. These are not scientific principles. It's part of why I find them so damn exciting.
Okay. Well, it also wants to eat Rose because Rose is connected to Thomas. So.
Oh, that would explain that, wouldn't it?
So.
You, young lady, Rose.
Yep.
When we were fighting Jason's thug, I saw you very bravely and with fine form, I might add, hit him very, very, very hard. The inhuman power you were channeling pretty clearly. Is this the connection that your friend speaks of?
Yeah, I don't know. Thomas and I just kind of mesh. Sometimes I can use his stuff.
You mesh. An apt choice of words. I would imagine your predatory aspect wants to somehow weaponize that connection to try to pluck that last fiber of stem to get the fruit off the tree. It's just a working theory, but it seems to fit the facts.
Okay. Well, we can't seem to hurt Murder Thomas long enough to do any good. So all of this is great and theoretical and whatnot, but
here's what I'm wondering.
To kill us.
Here's what I'm wondering. The boy told me that he's remarkably resilient, and in fact, some of our less ethical experiments, I will say, put him through something of the ringer, but he always bounced back very, very quickly, but he sustained damage. He sustained discomfort. He had to break for the day occasionally, which was always extremely frustrating because when I'm on a research project this exciting, I like to work 24/7, but he hurt and needed a break and needed to catch his breath. It would make sense. The power in him, animating him, is eternal, immortal, invincible, but his human body is not. There's a level of frailty to it that not even inhuman influence can overcome. That makes sense to me. And when like and dislike mold together chemically and physically, the weaknesses of unlike are typically subsumed, but not entirely one-upped by the strengths of like. So this all is not surprising to me. What? A twin brother or something? What person did this thing take over?
he came out of a tube, so I'm guessing some kind of clone.
Yeah, it was kind of that it was a clone.
It was from one of Jason's original experiments on the island.
There were more experiments like this. Ooh, that is boldly and actually even for me concerningly unethical.
Fortunately, this one doesn't sprout. I mean, actually it kind of does. Right? Because he came after me with the bullets that we put in it. It's not exactly like the ones we fought at the manor where if you hit it with an axe, it would grow an axe, but what if it's the same kind of thing? Okay, so it's an iterative, it's iterating on the pain.
It's possibly the end result of the research you apparently witnessed. Things that only imbibe that which harm it. What a fascinating theorem. I love magic.
Yeah, but if we've been hitting it with fireballs, what does that mean for us?
That would mean that it is now more dangerous after its fight with you than it was before.
You wouldn't happen to know how to just make napalm, would you?
I've read the Anarchist Cookbook and I know graduate level chemistry. I could make you something a lot more lethal than napalm. The lights go out.
Great.
Oh, fun.
And we're going to take our break
No!
right there as our group hears footsteps and soft, childlike laughter.
Oh no! No! I don't want to kill Kate.
Cat.
Oh, Cat.
I
Ron,
didn't even think of Cat.
Okay. Well, hi everybody. We're all real stressed out. We'll start out with Elle right now. But hold on. Actually, in the space, hey, DM, could you make me some coffee? Like, actually.
Yes.
Thank you. So, wait, I have the wrong person. Hi, Bill. Well, welcome to everybody who's here.
Hello.
We hope you're lovely and we hope you're good and stressed.
Like
And we hope that this kind of helps with the stress because we have another giveaway for everybody this week, sponsored by our lovely new sponsor. Rose, would you like to tell us?
Velocity.
Yes. Would you like to tell everybody about Escape Velocity?
Of course. So right now, if you're here, all you have to do is comment in the chat like, hello, I'm here. Just say something in the chat and you will be entered into our little giveaway. What's really cool is this week, our wonderful sponsor, Escape Velocity, donated this lovely comic book. It's so stunning with beautiful things, and it's based off, it is the comic book that the TV show is based off of. So it's Sweet Tooth, and it's that cool show on Netflix. Along with that comes some super cool stickers, which I thought I had right here and ready. But you'll get some super cool shiny stickers from Uncanny Pros, along with super fancy stickers from me at Fateful Designs. It's really cool. So if you want to be entered in the giveaway, all you really got to do right now is say something like hello, or I'm here, or your favorite character. Just say anything in the chat right now before end of break. Along with that, we have a ton of announcements.
Yes,
From our wonderful, I was like, that's a transition. It was really rough. But from our wonderful new sponsor, Escape Velocity, we have some super cool stuff coming up here this weekend, actually, August 6th and 7th. They are hosting their super mega summer sale. They're going to have graphic design. God, I make this mistake every week. Graphic novels, not graphic design. They're going to have graphic novels, comic books, merchandise, all sorts of cool novelty items, action figures. It's really like a super sale of all of their super awesome stuff. They're located in the heart of downtown Colorado Springs. So if you guys live here in Colorado and you want to come see everybody, swing on in. We'll have some super cool stuff. Next on their super cool agenda is they are headed to Colorado Springs Comic-Con. So if you're in the area and you want to swing by a convention, Colorado Springs Comic-Con, I believe, is August 19th through the 21st. And they'll have a really cool booth there where they bring all of their bargain comics along with some of their really cool new stuff. The last thing from Escape Velocity is actually that they are getting ready to host their book club. So if you live in the Springs or in Denver, or you just are willing to drive a much further distance, they are going to be reading The Sandman as everybody prepares for the Netflix show, Sandman by Neil Gaiman. So if you are excited and you want to be a part of that, all you have to do is head over to their Facebook, and they've got a ton of information on it. And I'll actually post the link to their Facebook here in the chat. Or what I will do, because I don't have the chat, I will send it to Edith.
I got you.
Chloe, oh my God, we're going to call you guys the wrong names all night tonight.
I mean, that is my signature move. So, just go with it. It's classy at this point.
It's
I do it in every single improv show I do. I like it. Yeah.
You're doing wonderful. I'm very proud. Okay, next on the agenda. Man, that was so many things and we still have lots to go through. Next on the agenda is, if you guys are new or you are here every week, either way, I run a little shop called Fateful Designs. And I've got a ton of new stickers out, along with a super cool sale that actually started yesterday, I think, which is 10% off, like literally every sticker in the shop. And coming August 10th, I have 3 new stickers that I am very excited about. Maybe at the end of break, I'll tease one. But if you are a fan of The Office or Black Panther, you're really going to love the new stuff. Let's see. The next thing is, oh my God, Chloe, we run a shop. It's super cool. If you guys are new here, all you have to do is go to uncannycreations.art, and there's some really cool stuff in there. Do you want to talk a little bit about what they might find?
Yes. So in our Uncanny Art shop, you have, it's a lot of Uncanny Pros merch, and then we also have some like weird Wellport stuff, as well as Felton University, because Edith and Rose are students there, and Rory is too. Sort of, kind of. We faked all the paperwork so he could come and audit classes, even though he technically doesn't exist. Yeah, so if you want to be an official student of Felton University, you can, get a hoodie or a tote or a mug.
Where they can have ID cards from Felton.
Love that. Yes. And we're going to be updating stuff as well. And if you wonder what the money from that goes to, it goes back into our stream. We use it for like updating our tech stuff and making sure we have the right equipment and all of that fun stuff. So, yeah.
I have
other requests for specific things, like, hey, love this design, but I would love to have it in a 3/4 length ladies polo shirt. Let me know. I'll see if I can figure that
out. Okay, final one, and then I'll transition out so somebody else can have a turn. I've been working with this super cool company called OTP Games, and I'm sure there's someone here who could talk more about it. But you guys should check them out. They've got super cool stuff. That's me passing to Will so Elle can run to the rest.
Perfect. Oh, wait, hold on. But no. You're gone. You're good. You're good, Elle. Bye. Sorry, I double clicked. Hi, Will.
Hi. So speaking of OTP Games, that's my company. I've just started recently. We have one product available on Drive-Thru-RPG, but there's more we're working on. One with Elle. It's the one I have up on Drive-Thru-RPG is it's for D&D, because I've been playing that for over 40 years now. That's my thing. It's a martially oriented source book, but we're working on one more for arcane casters. And one of the things is a deck, like the Deck of Many Things, but a supplement to it. But we're working on Elle's illustrating all the cards, and including the original Deck of Many Thing cards. And I have some of the. See if I can do this. These are some examples of. Let's see.
Oh, wait.
Here we go. There. These, if you're familiar with Deck of Many Things, these are some of the cards she's illustrating. We're gonna have all of them.
The flames. The flames.
If you know what that is, if you know these, which you should, if you've been D&D that long.
Beautiful.
You get an idea of what kind of. Yep. That's a really cool one too.
So enhance your tabletop experience, guys, without a lot of extra work.
It's gonna be a little while for these are available for sale, but we're getting close. That's one of my favorite ones too.
Ooh, the void.
That one's
everybody.
Awesome.
Everybody needs a good void. I don't know what you do with that one.
But that gives you the idea of the kind of stuff Elle's helping us make, and if you check out the link, it should be over there.
Yep, I'll put it in the chat.
Awesome. But yeah, if you're DMing, you just want ideas and or new weapons, feats, spells, few spells, armor, check it out. It's pretty awesome, I think. But of course, I help write it. So
that sounds perfect. All right, Elle. Do we have I think we have several entrants. Thank you, everybody who said hi in the chat. You are definitely still muted, hon.
It would help if I was talking. No, I'm almost done. I'm just collecting the last of the people. Be sure to, if you're going to enter, make sure you say something really quick before I do my drawing.
And then hopefully we will get back and nobody will die. I keep being like, how are we not dead? I don't understand.
It's a miracle, really, and every time we're not dead, I'm like, wow, those are some really resilient people.
To be fair, we have died at least once, maybe twice.
I've died 4 times, and at least once from car crash.
Wait, did we die from a car crash?
Well, the first time we met the king was from when the van rolled up a mountain and then rolled back down.
No, the first time we met the king was at the first session when we died.
We were actually dead.
That's right. We have had the first car crash was a bunch of gremlins.
Yeah, the gremlins ate our engine and then we all died. I mean, no one could confirm that, but I'm pretty sure we were dead.
Cannot confirm nor deny. We are waiting on Thomas because I made him go make me coffee.
No shit. Gives everybody just one more second that if you want to enter into the giveaway, you got to say something in the chat so that I have you in here.
I think there was another thing that I was wanting. By the way, for those of you who are watching, if you can see these Stream Elements messages on Twitch popping up, these are ways that you guys can impact what's going on. Redeeming a question, we haven't used that play move a lot, but there are certain times when we have to ask questions of a puzzle or whatever. And you can compel questions if there's something that you would like to do. Thank you. You can also add or remove points from our rolls. And Rory occasionally turns into random things, so you can control what happens that. But these points you get by watching our stream. So the longer you stay, even if you're not able to stay for the whole thing, if you put it on and let it just run, you will accumulate points, and then you can turn those in and use those commands to actually influence the story. And we have Thomas. So I think now is time to do our lovely giveaway.
Okay. I'm really excited, guys. Here we go. It was number Fun Crusher. Are you still here? Hello?
Be still here, Fun Crusher. Congratulations. Everybody say congratulations to Fun Crusher.
Congratulations, Fun Crusher.
And we will be reaching out to you to get your contact information so that we can send that to you. Yeah, basically. Haha, they're still here. Brilliant. I forget that we're on a slight lag, actually. That's why.
I know, I always forget. So I'm like, oh no, there's no one here.
No, it's the lag. Yay. Okay. So Fun Crusher, let's see here. The best way to do this is going to be to message us probably in one of our socials.
I'm messaging right now. I got you.
You got it? Okay, cool. Elle has you, and she will take care of getting that out to you. And meanwhile, we're going to go ahead and let the terrible darkness and the haunting footsteps of a child. If we have to kill our house ghost, I'm going to be so mad.
Yeah, right on.
DM has no thoughts on this. He's like, yeah, this is what I do. I
We
crush
ready?
things and collect your tears.
Yeah, that is where we find our heroes suddenly in darkness. And at first, the little girl's laughter seems to be coming from one direction, off in the darkness. And then it starts coming from all around. A swelling cacophony, a chorus of monotone, youthful children laughing.
Do we recognize this laugh? Is this laugh? Is this cat?
Sounds like her.
Now, I said Michael was kitted up. I never said he unkitted. So he'd have his kit on still.
I would assume you would not.
I'd probably take his helmet off, but throw my helmet on, and I have my NVGs in a pouch, put those on, start looking around in the darkness what I can see.
You don't see squat. It's just dark in here. Someone cut the power, or maybe the storm cut the power because man, it's getting awful there. But this place is empty, and the laughter just kind of keeps getting louder and louder.
Cat, we are your friends and would love to help you.
The laughter stops.
Cat,
My friends?
yes.
She suddenly materializes just kind of right in the middle of the group, and it's still dark, but she's luminous. Almost like there's a backlight to her translucent, incorporeal nature.
Are you okay?
I'm cold. That hurt.
I'm so sorry, hun.
Are
As
you
soon-
my friends?
Yes.
Of course.
Even that one?
Is she pointing to Dr. Miller or?
Mhm.
Dr. Miller is our friend for right now.
Is Mike my friend?
Yes.
You're my friends. Why would my friends let it hurt me, Edith? Why would my friends let it take me away? Why would my friends let it put me here where it is dark and cold and I feel so weak? You're not my friends. You're not my friends. You're not my friends. And she suddenly shifts and transforms in an instant to a monstrous, translucent figure, a distorted funhouse version of the murderous Thomas doppelganger you just left. The tentacle-like appendage tongue now dangles monstrously out of misshapen, elongated jaws. Its forehead is peeled back in a grotesque H.R. Geiger-esque cylinder, and the rest of its body is broken and distorted and angular like some fan art drawing of a Slender Man gone wrong. And it is instantly, shockingly, pulsatingly horrible. And everyone except for Mike, who has been through the ringer and is not easily jarred, should roll for cool.
Ooh! 11.
10.
You avoid panicking and in turn kind of avoid like that gibbering madness that sort of yips up at the edge of your consciousness, and you're able to keep your heads. All of you except for Professor Miller, who lets out a shriek somewhere in the darkness, and then you hear the pounding of feet.
Can I see anything in the darkness with the nods?
You can see her. She has taken off running for the
Yeah, I was going to say, she's gone.
Yeah. Does she see where she's going, or is she like running on wall full speed?
She is not, and is actually in rapid danger of running into a wall full speed.
Ah, fine.
Janessa, it's fine.
Thud.
Yep. Okay.
And the shrieking stops, and a heavy thud sounds out. And
In fairness,
she's
we
off
never
the
know
board.
what side. What?
She's off the board. She out cold.
Yeah, in fairness, we never know what side she's on, so that's probably best. Okay. Kat, we're here to help. We had to find out what was happening before we could stop it.
The monstrous figure is twisting and breaking, and the angles and lines turn, and it almost looks like a particularly sadistic large child is playing with this figure like it's a Rubik's Cube, trying to make it shaped like a person.
Cat, this creature is using you to make itself more powerful. Don't help it. You're powerful. You can break free from it and go back to your home.
Do you remember the scary lady at the house?
Not my friends, not my friends, not my friends.
Do you remember how we beat her? Do you remember how we got her out?
Yeah. And suddenly the form stabilizes. And it's just a man. Actually, this time she looks exactly like Thomas, not without the weird distortions and things that are wrong with it that were present on the horrible predator you just fought with. It's like there is a Thomas ghost all of a sudden lighting up like a lamp throughout the darkness. Oh, that's much easier. Oh, that feels good. Oh.
Yeah, you're going to have to give her back.
There is no her to give back. It's much easier this way. The hunger is less cacophonous. Ah.
Okay. Why are you hungry?
Rose, you can run, you can hide, you can try, but I will find you expediently and I will rip what I need from you. So let's stop this. Let's stop the fighting in the funhouse theatrics.
What
Let
do
me
you
take
want
what I
from
need.
Rose? What do you want from her?
Nothing much. Just the thing in her soul that calls out to him. I need it for some reason. He didn't go down so easy when I tried. It's like it got lodged in my throat. I couldn't make him part of me. I couldn't. He's different. He shouldn't be different. We're one and the same. We come from the same.
Thomas is nothing like you, so get over it.
You're different members of the same whole. You can still be different and still be whole.
It's not supposed to work that way, shooty man with the boomstick. It's not supposed to work that way.
Have you ever been separated before?
I have no memory of separation. I have no memory of the life that the man who fishes says is his to reclaim by right. I have no memory of the life of the boy who used to sell the drugs but now is the hero who says stupid things. No, all I remember is the island and your faces and hunger. I am so hungry all the time, not like this. But when I am real, when I can touch things, when I can break them, it is so much hunger. You would never understand. You're just people. So small. My fight is not with you. My quarrel is not with you. I just need to take what I need from her, and then I will go take what I need and reunite, and then I will take the one who fishes, and I will be the shattered one, and I will feed. And then the hunger will stop. Yes, it will. It will stop.
If you feed on the others, I fear that the hunger will not stop. That's all that will remain.
Then I will eat.
If you reunite, then your hunger won't be what's dominating you, what's controlling you.
Reunite? Reunite. Is that what you think is happening here? One who fights?
That's what needs to happen. You were split.
It
You
can't
need to be
happen.
made whole.
It can't happen, one who fights. It can't happen. It can't happen because that of me that was that with the man who fishes is no longer of the man who fishes, is no longer of the boy who loves, is no longer of any of them. All that remains is me.
Do you understand human biology at all? I don't mean to be condescending. You're not human, so I wouldn't expect you to. But do you understand what human biology is?
That is when I break certain things, I break people, yes?
sorry, the analogy is you were a complete human, but then you're ripped apart. All you are is the stomach. The stomach is not the complete whole. You need the rest of you to make sense, to make your life make sense, for your being to make sense. If the stomach eats the rest of the body, all it is a stomach still. It's not a full, complete being.
Not the stomach. Not the stomach, no. No, just using the stomach, the anger, the hunger. I find this form pleasing, but awkward, and I grow tired of conversation. Surrender the girl, or I will kill you all. Submit.
I like move close to Rose and I'm like, can you try? Thomas is inside of him. Can you try to call Thomas out?
I can try.
And I've
Got your
positioned
back.
myself between him and the girls throughout
Thomas,
this whole conversation.
Mike, you need to step back.
Not here.
Thomas, can you hear me?
He is not here. He is not here. There
I
is
think-
no
I think
Thomas.
that more Thomas is in you than you want to admit. But I think there are people who care about us in there, starting with Kat, and definitely Thomas too.
Nothing remains.
Thomas, can you
No.
hear me?
No ghost, no Thomas. There is no
Thomas?
Thomas. I came from his flesh and his
You came from a
blood
part of
and his
Thomas,
pain.
can you hear me?
He's not here, but you can call to him like this. I can feel it. Yes, when you call, he answers. He feels you. You can borrow him across space. I
Thomas?
need this. I need it.
It's not going to work, so get over that. You can let Kat go, and you could just go back to Thomas, and he will help you. We will help you, but you have to give up this crazy nonsense.
Cannot let Ghost Girl go. We have
Thomas, can you
become
hear me? Because I don't know if I'm getting through.
is sleeping.
Then let him know.
Oh, not here. I left him in the ground when you ran. He fights too. One who fights is strong but inept. I broke him and left him there. I will return when I have taken what I need.
Thomas is going to get up, and he's going to come for us. That's what he
He-
does. He
he
doesn't
will.
stop fighting.
You are so close. You are so close. You see, there is not more of him in me. There is more of me in him. And he will get up, but he will falter and fall, and then I will devour him.
Over my dead body, I guess.
I don't need to hurt you, girl who feels. I do not need to harm you, scarred one. I cannot eat you in the same way, one who fights. I can only feed on your essence. I see no need to do so in this form when the hunger is more quiet. Give me what I need, yield, and I will take my fight to the boy.
No.
Then you will die. Embrace the darkness. It is where I have lived,
And Thomas,
and the tentacle comes back out of the mouth. It is where I have hid. More tentacles explode out of this ghostly being's back. It is where I have become what I am today. And now, ones who resist, I will break you one at a time, and strip from you all that is worth keeping. Wink. Back in darkness.
Oh, great. Edith is going to grab the iron sword that I'm sure we have here. Because this is...
Rose, roll weird.
All of us should have iron swords.
Okay. Weird. That's 11 plus 1 is 12.
That weird, buzzy feeling of power is all around you. You haven't felt it this way yet. It is like you are in a bubble made of this sensation.
I don't know where he is. He's like everywhere.
Okay. I think... So you know how... Okay, I don't know that... I don't think this is relevant. I don't know that this is relevant. You know how everything was test tubes and science-y over there? What if he's sick?
That could be a thing.
Mike, roll sharp.
That's 12.
You can see because of the gear you've got on, and you see in a decisive instant the microwave from the kitchen rip off the wall and start rocketing at Edith's head.
Try to throw her out of the way.
Go ahead and roll tough.
Just the whole Edith.
So 9 total.
I will let you fail, or I will let you take the hit instead.
Is that yeah, I'll take the hit.
So you rush forward and sort of shove her out of the way, just in time for the flying microwave to sort of alter its path and just explode across your head. That would be for 3 harm, but you're wearing a helmet, so your armor counts.
Okay, so 1 harm.
Enough to ring your bell.
Okay.
If I can touch him, maybe I can call on Thomas. I don't know, but it's better than nothing, right?
I think he's going to be trying to touch you here pretty soon.
Well, it's super great. That's a great thought.
Okay, this is another stupid thought, but what if this is like Tam Lin? What if, that's that story where the crazy fairy queen took a person and then made him a horrible, awful thing, and then the thing that saved him was that the girl had to just hold on to him. Well, he went through all
sharp again.
Yeah, 5, 6.
You hear a whistling through the air, all of you, and your survival instincts would technically allow you to roll tough here, so all of you roll it.
No.
It's 9.
3.
Ooh.
Also 3.
That's experience. You
All,
both get
all of a
experience for that.
sudden,
Yep.
There is a hail of silverware and knives and plates and mugs and kitchen furniture just beating down on all of you, just in a absolute cascade, almost as if it is precipitation itself. It's 3 harm on everybody. Mike, you're armored up and kitted up, so you managed to sort of take this pounding, but the girls, the silverware, the tongs of the forks, the edges of the butter knives thrown at this velocity, they can actually do some damage, and you feel cuts opening against your skin. You feel bruises forming. You feel sickening impacts where mugs and plates either bounce off of you or shatter.
Thomas, you show yourself right now.
Rose, you've been sort of steadily walking backwards as this assault has continued, and your back is to the Haven's television, which suddenly turns on.
Oh god, she definitely screams a little and then turns around.
Ghostly tentacles explode from the television and try to grab Rose.
Oh my god, this is the worst thing you have ever done. But she is gonna try to, like, I guess, grab something?
Okay.
Grab one of the
roll up.
tentacles?
I guess grab one of the tentacles because she's trying to, like, call out Thomas.
Okay, roll tough.
God, that's the worst one.
I'm assuming
Okay.
I'm like. Go ahead.
A 9.
Okay. Edith, you're close enough. I'll let you take an action.
I mean, while she's grabbing the tentacle, I would like to try to bring the sword that I have down on the tentacles to see if I can sever them.
There are multiple tentacles, right?
Yep.
Well, but they're
you
all
can't.
coming out of the
Sword
TV,
passes right
so
through
it's
them.
like-
I won't even make you roll. Sword passes right through them. But
So
they
they're not
are somehow managing to grab hold of Rose just fine.
This is
Rose, you try
definitely
to
cheesy.
grab a piece of furniture, and right as you get your hands on like the love seat, it is wrenched from your grip and thrown at Edith. You don't have anything left, do you?
No, I'm dead.
You're not. The love seat just brains you and knocks you the hell out.
I'm gonna
Just
try to
blood.
Cheers.
grab a hold of Rose. I assume she's getting sucked into the TV.
Yes.
I'm gonna try to
Oh my
grab a hold of
God.
her and drag her towards the cage.
Go ahead and roll tough.
So that's a 15.
Okay. That's wonderful. Except this sucker is a contested your roll and rolled a 16. So
Oh, no.
you grab her and plant your feet, and for a moment it is this awful tug of war, and you feel like you're actually kind of in it. You understand mechanics and leverage, and you got a good hold of her, and you are preventing it from making progress. And then it and Rose, in a horrible moment, turn incorporeal, and your arms just pass through her, and she is wrenched backwards, and with no more time to even scream or make a sound, she is pulled as if into the television screen itself. Everybody roll a d6.
Now I roll a 6.
2,
Okay.
3, and 6.
2, 3, and 6. Sorry, I didn't hear well. All right. So we will go with Edith first. Edith. You
What?
suddenly come to your senses, sitting in a rocking chair in a misty, verdant place, sitting on the patio of a cabin next to a very familiar figure.
I don't have anything else to give you. Okay?
No, you just need to make good.
Right now?
Yes. Tell me, I know that you and the group have avoided it because you don't understand it. When's the last time you've been in your own cage?
I have never been in that cage.
Mm-hmm. Who has? Do you remember?
Rory?
Mm-hmm.
Who is not
Do you remember what he did in there?
He was stuck to the ground.
Mm. Do you remember what he did in the cage last, Edith?
He made a sigil,
Two,
right? A portal.
to summon.
Our succubus.
Uh-huh. So what I need you to do, Edith, is when I wake you up, I need you to go to the cage with that book, and I need you to summon me. This is my moment. The boy is coming to you. The hunger is here, and their guards are down. This is my moment.
Will Thomas be okay?
I have no idea and don't care.
In our deal, it was that it wouldn't hurt anybody. So if I let you
No,
free,
in our deal it was that I wouldn't hurt anybody, and I have no intention to do so. Whether or not it happens anyway is not in my control.
but you will not intentionally hurt Thomas.
I don't give a single solitary human shit for the boy.
No, but we made a deal.
I
And
won't
you
kill
agreed.
the boy. If taking myself back from him harms him, I don't care either. Edith, you seem to think you can say no here. You can't. I'm not negotiating. I'm instructing. Summon me and I will end this.
Okay, so I don't like your tone because I could 100% say no. My friends would be super duper sad, but I would avoid averting the apocalypse. So you can ask me nicely and I will do our damn deal. I just want to make sure that you're going to make good on your end of it.
I won't intentionally hurt the boy, but I won't save him either. Do you think this is angels and demons, Edith? Do you think that free will is at play? You signed a contract with your binding word. If you won't do it of your own free will, I will make you. It would actually go easier. I can put the knowledge of the summoning spell in your head.
I've got this. Send me back.
You got it. This will all be over soon, Edith. And then when it is, I'll help you find your target. I've already got a bead on him, but in my current state, it's hard to be more precise than that. At full power, though, I will have him at your mercy.
I haven't forgotten. I'll get you out. Thank you for holding up your end of the deal.
This is going to be fun. I recommend you turn your young friend's eyes away from what is about to happen. And you're awake. Mike.
I was running over to try to revive Edith.
She is like impenetrable. Suddenly it kind of reminds you of the sleep that the professor was in. And there's a pounding on the door.
On which door?
The only door closest to you, the one that the professor was hoping to get at, but failed in darkness.
She's still breathing? Edith?
Edith is still breathing, yes. It's light and loose, and you can. She took a nasty knock to the head.
I go check the door.
It is black-eyed Justice Thomas. His left arm dangles limply and crookedly from his side, and his eyes are so badly swollen, he looks kind of like Rocky, but worse. And he is walking with a very, very pronounced limp, but he staggers inside. Ugh. What's happening here?
Well, the other party you followed us here, it apparently took power from Cat the Ghost and can go incorporeal, and it sucked Rose through the TV screen after knocking out Edith. I'm going to see if I can revive her.
That sounds like a party.
Yeah, you look terrible, man. I'm sorry. Sorry this happened.
I can't make my arm work the same way. I can't. And he tries to move it, and you hear like this grating, soft bone-on-bone sound. It won't go back.
Just, is it like dislocated? Is the shoulder dislocated?
It's in a bunch of pieces. I felt, and it hurt so bad I nearly passed out again.
Just don't move it. Just try to relax.
I can't see. I don't feel so good, man.
All right. I sit in a chair. Just stay here and relax. We'll check on Edith.
As you sort of try to break and try to set him down, he topples forward suddenly, and suddenly you're taking his whole weight, and his body is shuddering, and he's gurgling.
You all right, man? Can you breathe still?
You sort of push him back to take a look at him, and his eyes have rolled back in his head, and he is spewing bloody foam out of his mouth.
Is he still breathing?
Yeah, but it's shaky, and you are feeling a fever is probably the wrong way to describe it. A heat that is almost oven hot coming off of his skin.
Oh, okay. I'm going to try to do the best I can with my medical knowledge and see if I can do anything to make him better.
Go ahead.
So that's an 11.
This is catastrophic illness. Like, this is sickness. He has fever and something awful just chewing up his insides. He ostensibly needs medical care.
Get an access IV at least while I have it.
Go for it.
Drop an NPA if his palate's intact. And also just do, whatever I can. So I got a 13 to
Yeah, nope. You can do whatever you want to do.
try to get him as stable as I can.
All right.
See if I
You're able to stop sort of like the cacophony of shakes and what is very clearly like a mounting seizure, but he is in awful shape, and the heat coming off of him is unnatural. If you had to guess, he has something like a fever of 120. It hurts your hands. And we go to Rose. Rose, you come to yourself after a quick and sort of discombobulating, confusing tilt-a-whirl in what basically looks like a hall of mirrors in a carnival. And it's all around you, a cacophony of echoes, and you think you can kind of maybe hear Mike's voice echoing around, but it's so distorted and so repetitive that you can't really make out what he's saying, and you hear other voices, and you think you maybe hear Edith's voice, but it's confusing. And all around you, it's as if you're just rimmed in mirrors.
Guys? Anyone?
No specific acknowledgement.
Anyone hear me?
You hear Kat giggling.
Kat, could you come out, please?
All of a sudden, all around you, as if just on the edge of your vision, like you're just almost able to catch it, but not quite. You see the backs of her feet and like the trailing of her little white dress just escaping the edge of the mirrors around you, just over and over again, taunting you. Every time you're looking one direction, the giggling comes from behind you.
Kat, honey, could you come out, please? I could really use a friend.
Quiet. And you hear a voice behind you as if it is right next to you. She's not here anymore.
She is. And so is Thomas, and she'll turn around.
Nothing. It's like something's playing with you. Not here. Back at your house, just drained of this. Handy tool, by the way, incorporeality. Instantaneous psychic projection. Handy.
Just let her go. She's a kid.
There's nothing to let go. I drank, I dropped.
Then give up the power. You don't need hers. I mean, you're pretty clearly going to get what you want.
Yes, I do. I need every last drop.
I don't know what you want from me. I can't just give it to you.
I want you to let me take it so I don't have to hurt you.
I'm not giving up anything when it comes to him.
I'm trying to save him for you. I don't want to have to rip your boyfriend to pieces to take what I need. I want to do this the right way, the surgical way. You have the ability to do that. You just need to give it to me.
I don't understand what you want. It's Thomas's power. What, so you can take him over?
I have no need of him. I just need the strength and what the strength carries with it. And suddenly he appears in front of you.
She backs up several steps.
Give it to me. Give it to me and I can leave. I can leave.
I'm not going to help you hurt people.
I don't want to hurt people. I don't want to hurt people. People are...
My neighbor would beg to differ.
She'll wake up. She'll
What
wake
are
up.
you doing to them?
Humans, it's insubstantial. I imbibe, it goes back. Temporary strength, temporary sustenance. Insubstantial. Not a meal, not a snack, not even an appetizer.
So she'll just wake up like nothing happened.
Soon, if not already.
Okay.
I need to go on, girl. I need to go on to find food. Right now, too small, bottom of chain, dismissible, fragile, broken, as whole, perfect self can finally feed.
Okay, but what I don't understand is even if you take Thomas and Justice Thomas or the Shattered King, aren't you guys all still just pieces of something bigger?
Yes. And that something will turn from predator to prey. It will run. It will not hide from me. And then, oh, the fields of plenty, it will be opened up before me. I can scarcely sketch it with your language. Too weak now to make myself whole. I just need him. He's small, he's puny, he is just strong enough. Just strong enough, girl, to tip it. A fox cannot bring down a moose, but a wolf can. Help me, and I'll leave him alone. Don't want to hurt you. Will if have to.
I want to help you. Not at the cost of everybody else. So
I tried. And now,
calm down, okay?
this will hurt. I hope you wake up.
We could talk about this and then we
The
can...
mirrors shatter and incorporeal Thomas disappears, and suddenly you find yourself adrift in a open void filled with just shards of shattered glass swirling all around you, and you see that horrible, monstrous, tentacled figure is suddenly surging out of the darkness towards you.
Thomas?
And back to Edith, who suddenly awakes healed.
Okay. All right. That's every
Brimming
time.
with knowledge.
What?
Your head is brimming with knowledge. You think you could probably read that damn book now.
Okay. Can I see?
Better than you should be able to.
Okay.
You don't feel totally like yourself right now, as a matter of fact.
Am I like in control?
Mm-hmm. You just feel invigorated.
Okay. Oh, I don't know if this is a good idea or not. All right, so I pick up the book.
Mm-hmm.
Does this make any sense?
You can read the whole thing. It is not written in a structure a human brain is meant to comprehend, but you get it.
Okay. So I see the summoning spell.
You find one. It's not so much a summoning spell as it is a handwritten way to reach out, widen any scar or hole in the barrier between worlds, and pull something through. You recognize Rari's handwriting.
Okay. Ah. I don't want to pull the king through. Boo. As that thought crosses my brain, like, is there any other force that's like, no? Is there like an angel on my shoulder or a compulsion of any kind?
Your temples start to pound. You look around too as you're examining, and you notice through your now almost like feline clear vision that Mike is trying to tend to a convulsing and absolutely battered to the point of destruction Thomas, who is clearly in distress. But he doesn't notice you. He's kind of occupied, and Thomas is making a lot of noise.
Okay. And the thoughts occurred like Edith is literally going through like, what else could I summon that might be useful? Trying to think of a good way to use like the same succubus again, but concerned that she wouldn't be able to control it.
You're trying, but the thoughts, anytime you reach out for an original thought, it's like it falls out of your brain like sand through your fingers. You can't grasp any course of action other than to either not move or do what you got sent back to do.
Okay. And I'm assuming I have the same, because she's a different thing. I have the same feeling when I think about trying to summon the thing that came to the house. Like that consuming spirit of the land.
Yeah, just about.
Same feeling? Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Let's do this. And she just goes ahead and is like, all right, concentrating on the king and bringing him through.
Do you cast the spell?
Yeah.
Mike, join us.
Enemy is my friend sort of thing.
Sort of stabilize Thomas just enough. Like eventually you start to feel as if sort of whatever is working against you starts working for you. Maybe his ability to regenerate combined with his will to fight, it starts going better. And then the room is suddenly illuminated so brightly, you have to rip your goggles off of your head. And you feel this awful, awful, awful sort of static feeling at the edge of your consciousness. And you whip your head around to find Edith with the book in the cage, chanting, and a swirling vortex opening before her.
Edith, you know what you're doing?
Sort of. Paradoxically, yes.
Bolts of energy start to fly out of the hole, sparks. It's swirling, seething chaos. It's madness. And Edith, all of a sudden, you feel a distinct sensation as if the hand of your mind is holding a rope. And all you have to do is pull.
I pulled it.
Suddenly there's quiet. The lights flicker back on. The smell of ozone dissipates. The feeling of energy and invigoration fades. And in the center of the room, in front of the TV, is the man in a rocking chair with a fishing pole. He looks around, looks at each of you, smiles, nods. Tonight, the king joins the hunt and regains his throne. And he casts the line from the fishing pole into the television, hooks something, and pulls. Rose, right as this thing is about upon you, looking like it is going to tear you limb from limb, you feel that yanking sensation behind your clavicle, and you are pulled suddenly with it pell-mell and helter-skelter, and find yourself sprawled out in a heap on the floor of the Haven as a weird mishmash of flesh and ghostly tentacles and shrieking effluence writhes next to you. And it is attached to what looks like a freaking fishing line with a giant hook. And the nameless king is sitting in a rocking chair, kind of just observing you like,
Thanks.
You're a strong one. I'll take this from here.
Sir, that part of you ate a ghost friend of ours. If there's any way you could save her, we would appreciate it.
Yeah. All right. Stop hiding. And he yanks again, and a loud pop and an explosion of force throws the room into disarray and flings you lot every which way. And
there's a microwave through the wall. There's furniture over the place. And how do we know if the room's in disarray now?
Yeah, well, it's worse. All right. And you're able to get to your feet pretty quick, but now you see that he's in the room. Murder Thomas and the nameless king still sitting in his rocking chair, just facing each other, maybe 10 feet between them. The nameless king smiles. I found you at last. I'm here. I can take you back. It's okay. Yield. Yield and it's over. Murder Thomas looks at him and he's twitching, but smiles softly and kneels down. Will it be over quickly? The nameless king stands. Comparatively. Murder Thomas sighs in relief. And will there be an end to my suffering? Oh, my son, I will put an end to you, but your suffering has only just begun. And then he changes. Suddenly so much bigger, 8 feet, 9 feet, 10 feet tall. Your eyes can't even make sense of what he looks like. It hurts to look at him, and you feel your brain struggle to process and reinterpret the visual information coming in into something palatable. And the best you're able to come to is a hulking, misshapen, hooded, armored knight with a great chain in his hand, the end of which dangles a huge bladed hook. And he throws it with just astonishing force, and it embeds itself in Murder Thomas's chest, and he pulls with a mighty yank. Its body flies through the air, and he catches it by the waist. He's so much larger than it, and begins to move its figure towards its hooded maw, and you hear awful crackling noises, and you smell an awful scent that you can't even begin to put to words. And he stops, drops him. Murder Thomas looks up at him, smiles. Not feeling well, brother? The Shattered King starts convulsing, twitching, writhing, lets out a horrible, unearthly screech that nigh on makes your eardrums bleed, and drops to a knee, and then drops to his shoulders, and then starts writhing on his gargantuan back on the ground, changing shape, flitting back and forth between impossible geometries and monsters you've never seen, and forms and people, and the man fishing at the cabin. And the screech gets louder and louder and louder and louder and louder before finally going quiet. And as you regain your senses to look up, you see the reason for the silence as the tongue from his mouth has shot into the void of the hood of this figure, and you see it pulsing, engorging, softening, slackening, engorging, pulsing like a heartbeat, and you hear the sickening sounds of drinking. And that is the end of tonight's episode.
The wrong one is eating the wrong one. No.
Oh, cool.
Okay.
Going great.
Okay. Okay. Well, that did not end the way I thought it was going to end.
No.
Well, everybody, tune in next week. I'd say for the exciting conclusion, but it's not going to be concluded. It's just going to continue being stressful.
For the
No, this is the beginning of the end of season 1, not the end.
It is the beginning of the. Okay, it's so dramatic.
cool.
Gonna start fleshing out my backup character.
I was gonna say, well, it's a good thing we all had a couple character
You
concepts.
guys you made decisions to keep yourselves intact, which is probably for the best, but brought forth some interesting outcomes. I'm looking forward to you seeing the consequences of them.
Well, I'm not gonna have nightmares about being sucked through a TV or anything. It'll be fine.
Cool. Everybody else, we will see you guys next Tuesday. And
Fun Crusher message us.
sleep well. And yes, Fun Crusher, I tried. Hold on. I'm gonna let DM and Bill go here for a second if they'd like. But hey, Elle, I tried messaging. Guys, this is me doing tech stuff that I don't know how to do. I tried messaging them on Twitch privately. Hey, Fun Crusher 13, I'm going to put my social and Elle's social, and you can reach out to us on Facebook or Instagram. I'm going to put it right in the chat.
Yes.
Um,
And I'll try to keep checking in with you, but just so you know, messages.
and then Rose, Elle, it's which one do you want me to put?
Do @COS_ELLE.
Okay, perfect. Find us, Fun Crusher. All right, cool. We will see you guys next week.
Yeah.
Have fun.